Hello, I'm Prince, and I'm here to tell you something that happened to me when I was just a 3-year-old child. I don't know if you'll believe me, but it's the truth. Every night, while everyone in the house was asleep, my parents in their room and me with my 2 younger siblings in another, a strange being would appear at my window. I called it a demon. It had a tiny body, like a dwarf, with big ears and dark eyes, and each time I saw it, an icy chill ran through my skin. My siblings, who were also very young, would run terrified to my parents' room, leaving me alone in the darkness. I tried to tell them what I saw, but they thought it was just a simple fantasy from my mind. However, I know what I saw night after night. It was there, in front of me, looking at me as if it were waiting for me.
The Devil in the Window. The story you are about to hear slips between reality and the inexplicable, an event that defies all logical understanding and turns the innocence of childhood into a dark and mysterious realm. In this story, we meet a young boy, whom we will call Prince. At only 3 years old, he faced a terror few could imagine. Every night, in the silence of his room, Prince claimed to receive a visit from a sinister entity, a demon. He remembers, with a mix of fear and resignation, how he tried to tell his family what he saw. "This demon came to me every day," he would recount, but his words were lost in the disbelief of his parents. To them, it was just a child's imagination, a simple bad dream, something that would eventually go away. But Prince knew otherwise. Every night, when everyone else was asleep, he was left alone in front of that window, which seemed to open a portal to the unknown. It was on one of those nights, when the clock struck midnight, that the terror reached its peak. Prince was sleeping peacefully when something strange woke him. A dense energy filled the room, and with a shiver running down his spine, he turned his head toward the window. There, dimly illuminated by the moonlight, he saw a small figure, the height of a dwarf, with large ears and eyes as black as the abyss. It was a figure that seemed pulled from the most disturbing of nightmares. Trembling, Prince tried to find refuge in his parents' embrace, but his siblings, who could no longer endure the strange nocturnal visits, had already escaped to their parents' room, leaving him alone with that dreadful presence. The child, paralyzed, felt his body grow cold, every fiber of his being alerting him to the danger. In a panic, with his bare feet and trembling voice, he screamed, "Mom, Dad," as he ran to seek the safety of his parents. In this unsettling story, we delve into the memories of a boy named Prince, who, at the age of 3, endured nights of true terror. His parents thought it was just imagination or nightmares typical of his young age, until one event changed everything. What follows is a story of mystery, a series of unexplainable encounters that reveal a chilling presence in the window of his room, prompting us to question how far the secrets of the ancients go and what truly lurks in the dark. This episode was not a fleeting nightmare. For 4 long months, that dark figure appeared every night. Always at the window, always watching him. And always, whenever he tried to seek help, he found himself alone, with no one to validate his experience. His mother, tired of hearing the same story repeatedly, finally decided to spend a night in Prince's room, ready to debunk or confirm her son's tale. What happened that night changed their lives. In the dim light, as shadows played in the moonlight, the mother also saw the figure. At last, Prince's account was no longer just a child's story but a disturbing reality. It was then that the parents decided to keep the family together in one room, seeking to protect their children from the entity that seemed determined to visit them night after night. Prince, now older, reflects on that presence and recalls tales of ancient lands filled with magic and sorcery, mentioning ancient pharaohs and the legends of cursed mountains. That demon was not of this world, he insists. Perhaps those ancestral lands hid dark secrets, curses, traps, and strange beings that no one understood. This is a story that invites us to question what we understand as reality and to reflect on the boundaries between the possible and the impossible. Perhaps, after hearing this story, we will all look at the window of our rooms a little differently. Because we never really know what might be watching us from the other side.
As the years went by, I discovered that the being I had feared so much was, in truth, a shadow of my own unrecognized power. What initially appeared as a demon, a foreign and uncontrollable entity, revealed itself as a reflection of my deepest essence, a part of my energy yet to be discovered, waiting to be integrated and understood. In that window, where shadows seemed to whisper secrets from other times, I began to see more than just the reflection of fear. I saw a calling, a gateway to the invisible universe that surrounds and flows through me. I came to understand that shadows are not enemies but mirrors of the inner worlds we ignore. Facing the demon in the window taught me to look inward and explore my own universe. Just as stars are in constant creation and destruction, I discovered that my life, thoughts, and emotions are like constellations in motion, capable of shining brightly or fading into the vast fabric of my being. What once filled me with fear transformed into a reminder that the greatest power does not lie in the world we perceive outside but in the intention I plant in every action, every thought. I realized that I am an ever-expanding universe, and my decisions are like stones cast into a river, small ripples that, when touching other lives, resonate through time and space. Over time, I turned my fears into a dance between light and shadow. I became the weaver of my own reality, understanding that each thought and emotion is a thread in the tapestry of my life. Instead of running away, I learned to embrace the unknown, to converse with my shadows, and to accept them as part of me. Like the universe itself, I am both emptiness and fullness, both the question and the answer. The window that in my childhood had been the stage for fears became my threshold to freedom. My heart no longer holds space for fear because I now understand that my spirit can illuminate any dark corner of the universe. I discovered that, like the stars, I too radiate light, and that in the grand game of existence, every human being is a spark destined to grow, to illuminate their own path, and to inspire others to do the same. Just as I do, we all carry shadows and light, fears and hopes. Within each of us lies a portal to something greater, a window to the infinite, where we can choose to be prisoners of our fears or creators of our reality. Through our decisions and thoughts, each of us has the power to shape our universe, to co-create a fulfilling life, and to be guardians of an inner peace that no shadow, no matter how dense, can extinguish. Let us all remember that the strength of our choices resonates through the cosmos and that the power of co-creation lies in the courage to face our shadows, to embrace them, and to let our light guide the way. For the true journey is not out there but in the infinite space we all carry within.